It was in a parking lot, but it's an apartment. You know what I would do? I would ask everybody in that apartment complex. That would be my first, goddamn. And then I would ask the neighbors if I canvassed, 20 different houses around the neighborhood if they got a Ring camera. If somebody has a Ring camera, maybe somebody had, captured something. 1900 block, first responders found 19-year-old man suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital, but the police said he did not survive. So, and then they said that the APD is actively investigating the shooting, but said that there are no current suspects. So how did it go from multiple suspects to no suspects? Now we're getting, contradicting information. So that was just the tail end of the last, story that I did. Now take a look at this guy. Now they might say something like, well, there's a war on the police. It's just not cool. This guy's all tattooed. Look at him. It's tattooed. His whole right arm is tattooed up, right? We went ahead and gave this guy a gun, and look at her. She's like, hi there, Mr. Man. And then he's there for sentencing, right? At least he's being a little, like this is the serious business that it is. And then this guy's just like, hey, I'm old and I don't know what's going on. And this guy's kind of like, hey, Joe. Hey, old man Joe. What you up to, old man Joe? Oh, I'm just standing here. Just standing here holding my shirt up. If I don't hold my shirt up, it might just fall down. There's a guy back here with the camera. Oh, that's the fake media, right? Fake news. Fake news, you fake news asshole. And then here's another person right there behind it with the camera phone. And then who are these spectators? I mean, I think it's interesting that you got just members of the public that are kind of interested in what's going on here. Hey, man. Hey, we need to go to the sentencing hearing. We need to go to the sentencing hearing, man. We need to check this thing out. So I'm actually kind of glad that you got, people that are, that give a damn enough to sort of, check out what's going on. Jeffrey Nelson, an Auburn police officer convicted of murder for fatally shooting a homeless man, Jesse Sarey, in 2019. My God, it only took 6 years. It only took 6 years to get the conviction and the sentencing for a murder. The man is dead. He's never going to be alive again. What was his crime? Being homeless, right? It's okay, like Daniel Beard, you're allowed to go ahead and just kill some poor homeless guy, but not a healthcare CEO, not somebody who runs the top 20 economy, the top 20 corporation of the, no, that's not what we want. Seattle, a suburban Seattle police officer was sentenced Thursday to over 16 years in prison for the 2019 shooting death of a homeless man he was trying to arrest for disorderly conduct, marking the first conviction under a Washington state law that made it easier to prosecute officers for on-duty killings. Yeah, cops, can you stop fucking killing people? Can you stop fucking killing people? He was trying to arrest him for disorderly conduct. That's like fucking jaywalking. That's like no seatbelt. That's like such a petty non-offense. Let's see. Arson. Let's see. Assault. Sexual, physical assault. Let's see here. Stealing. Rape. Murder. I think these are, big felonies here. Let's see. Is it one of the big felonies? What was he doing? Well, he said pooper scooper. And he said pooper scooper real loud. Well, that's disorderly. If he backtalks you, then you get to, this is a free country. Not only are the cops supposed to go after the criminals who commit crimes and injures another person, if there's no injury, then there's no fucking crime. The whole point of the law is to prevent one person from injuring another person. If there's no injury, there's no crime. A victimless crime, there's no such thing. And so, if there's no injury, and then it's a petty thing, come on. You got to, a jury found the Auburn police officer Jeffrey Nelson guilty June 27th of second-degree murder and first-degree assault in the death of Jesse Sarey, S-A-R-E-Y. King County Superior Court Judge Nicole Gaines Phelps sentenced Nelson to just over 16 and a half years for the murder conviction, 6.5 years for the assault, to be served concurrently. Before sentencing Nelson at the high end of the standard range, Phelps chastised a 46-year-old officer for his violent behavior in uniform. Respect for the law here goes more than beyond you, Officer Nelson. We're still calling him Officer Nelson. He's in jail. He's in jail. I don't know. I think that you probably don't have, you just call him Mr. Nelson at this point, right? Mr. Police Chief Officer Nelson, Mr. SWAT Man, Mr. Swatty Swatters. Swatterstein, this is the first case in which a police officer was charged, and it, in some ways, serves as a telescope for others to view police conduct and for police to remember to abide by their training when engaging in situations so they do not become lethal to them or to others they are sworn to protect and serve. A telescope? I mean, more like a microscope, I would think, but a telescope? It's like you want to see something from a far, far away. I guess, I don't know, maybe Arkansas and Maine and Alaska could look at it too. But really this has to do with Washington police officers because it's a Washington law, right? And I like the law. I like the law. Cops should not just be allowed to commit whatever fucking crimes that they want to. If there's a threat, they got to meet the threat, right? But if there's no fucking threat, Nelson seated in a packed courtroom. I've just, how many times you want people, hey man, why are you a radical? Why do you want fundamental change in this country? Why do I want fundamental change in this country? Well, all you gotta do is just get fucking fucked with one fucking time. How many times am I supposed to endure? So I was in Louisville, just crossing the damn street. Undercover people, so regular plain car tries to run me over, says get the fuck out of the road, and then, pummels my face. I have to do reconstructive surgery at least 2 or 3 times. Now I gotta fight fucking felony charges saying that I did something to the police, which I didn't, and it doesn't fucking matter. The truth doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit about the truth, right? I mean, when a cop wants to cover up his fucking crimes, so he just beat the shit out of me. I was walking to the store, right? Walking to the store, gonna buy me some bread, gonna buy me a little Mountain Dew and bread, and, have a little bologna sandwich at the house. And apparently I'm not allowed to do that. I was 1 fucking block away from my motherfucking house. That's enough to radicalize a person. How many times are you supposed to endure that bullshit? Nelson, seated in a packed courtroom in a red short-sleeve jail uniform, his arms covered in tattoos and his hair cut short, showed no emotion as the judge spoke. His wife and other Auburn police officers sat behind him in his support. Why are they doing that? Well, we just support our, whenever one of us murders somebody, we don't know right from wrong. If you're a good police officer, then you wouldn't just blindly fucking endorse a goddamn murder. I mean, my God, if murder is the worst thing, murder is the one that gets the newspapers and shit, but you just ended that guy's life, and you ended his life forever. So, how many goddamn, stealings and arsons and fucking assaults are they fucking doing without anybody, goddamn investigating? Jesus Christ, the journalists, the goddamn media. I'm so glad, that this judge, I'm glad this guy got convicted. I'm glad that this judge is actually talking about respect for the law. It goes both ways. Cops are supposed to protect and punish. I bet you the guy never arrested somebody for their, breaking the 3rd, 4th, or 5th Amendment. Wait a second. I bet you he also got a grand jury indictment before he even had to answer for his charges. Prosecutors had said at the trial in June that Nelson punched Sarey several times before shooting him in the stomach, the abdomen. Seconds later, Nelson shot Sarey in the forehead. Well, there you go. That's clearly a kill shot. Hey, you don't say poopy pooperstein on the damn sidewalk. I'm going to arrest you. No, you're not. Yeah, I will. Bang, bang, bang. Now you're dead. For saying poopy pooperstein, I thought this is a free fucking country. You want people to enforce their civil liberties. You want people doing the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th Amendments, because if we're not doing the fucking lawful freedoms, then, you're going to have goddamn law of nature, and then it's just going to be law of the fucking jungle. It's going to be every man for himself, and life is going to be, the life of man is going to be solitary, short, brutish, and terrible, and nasty, and poor, and awful. Just like Thomas Hobbes said. King County Special Prosecutor Patty Eakes, citing Nelson's long history of violence and disregard for his training, asked the judge to sentence him at the higher end of the standard, 18 years for murder and 10 for the assault. King County Prosecutor Attorney Lisa Mannion hailed the sentence as showing Nelson's actions were not above the law. Yeah, that's good. The video showed Sarey was on his back with his head positioned away from Nelson after the first shot. Sarey tried to grab his gun and knife, so he shot him in self-defense. How fucking awesome, right? You show up with a fucking gun. He tried to grab the gun I brought to the scene. Why'd you bring the gun to the scene? You couldn't fucking handle. I saw the German police handle a guy with a machete, or the Japanese police. Guy is just swinging a machete all over the goddamn place. And they were able to arrest him. They were able to get him down on the ground and arrest him with no injuries. I mean, we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, so why don't we fucking do better on this shit, you know?